Hello there. Welcome to Learning by Faith. This
Hello.
I'm Lindsay,
I'm Stu.
and we're just giggling because we haven't recorded a video since like August,
It was
I
August
think.
of 2024, and today
It
is
is
April
April
25th, 2025.
2025. This is going to sound like we're making it up, but we had to kind of start over with this video blog because we accidentally, long story short, we honestly accidentally deleted
Deleted
this
our
whole
channel.
channel and it deleted all our videos. I know it sounds like we're
So, long story short, like she said, we were fixing something with our Google accounts in the fall, and we were getting ready to sit down and do a recording. And I was trying to clean something up, and I accidentally
like
deleted our
YouTube
channel.
doesn't make it very easy to know
They
what you're
don't make it
deleting.
very easy.
Anyway.
And I tried, and it even confirmed with me 3 times before it deleted. And I kept saying yes, 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 and it deleted
I
it.
think it was like November.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like, oh, I guess we're not doing that anymore.
But so we were in mourning for several months. And then just like a month ago, I was like, no, I'm going to find all the recordings that we did. I'm going to find them. We have them on our computer. I'm just going to find them.
Thank goodness for this guy, because I would have just been like, well, that was.
Well, I was ready to give up too. But I found all of them, and then this last week I went in and after I found them, I went and renamed them and put them back in, uploaded them, got everything set back up. We're back to 0 followers.
I
And
mean,
that's
I
okay.
think we only had like 3. Anyway.
No, we had like 80 something last time, and that doesn't even matter because I know people were watching. So we were really bummed, but we're very glad that we can get it back out, and we wanted to do an update. So I would say I'll start off with saying that it's almost the end of year 2. We have been doing this for 2 full school years. This homeschooling
Seems
thing.
crazy. It seems like this one went by fast.
Yeah, tell anybody who's listening, how has the second year been as opposed to the first year?
Easier.
In what way?
Better than the first year. I'm not as tied to like, oh, we have to be doing school at this time and you have to sit here and do it this way and we have to get this lesson done today. And I think I still have more to, get out of me, root out of me, but it's been a lot better. Kids are getting along better. I mean, they still argue, but they're better friends. They're always playing games together, and it's just been more fun. I've been more relaxed because I kind of know the flow of our day, and we have a pretty good flow set up. This year. We also kind of got a homeschool room. We moved some desks into this office space, and so it's been really great to kind of contain all the mess of homeschooling. You can see it's very messy.
I've appreciated
real life.
that.
We didn't even clean up the desks.
Yeah, I appreciated the containing the mess, because there were days in our first year where I would come home and there were school books all over,
stuff everywhere,
the
and
entire
it's
house.
overwhelming, and then it takes over your whole entire life, which homeschooling kind of does, because it is
part of your life.
You can't compartmentalize it and be like, okay, now we are learning. And so I think it's kind of funny when people say like, how's homeschool going? Because it's kind of like, how's life going? I'm like, it's good, I guess.
We've definitely made it more a part of a natural part of our life. That we were walking earlier today, and we were kind of talking about getting ready to record for this, and we were just saying like, wow, like year 2, yes, we've had difficulties and things that we've still had to work out this year to try and solve for this, or how are we going to do this, or hey, let's tweak here, because we're always trying to improve and progress. But we've definitely seen.
Yeah, and it's cool to see the kids growing too and flourishing, and but I think you were kind of leading into our next point. Is there have still been really hard times this year too, and
homeschooling is not easy. It's not easy,
but I also think life is not easy, right? It's supposed to be hard, and it's kind of like pick your hard, because public school can be really hard too.
Public school is
There
hard.
are hard things of public school too. Like, for example,
You should hear some of these examples that
when-
we've heard, that we've been collecting these examples since last
fall.
Yeah, right after school started last fall, we started hearing different things. We've got a few examples we want to share with you, but while we share some of these examples, like she just said, we just want to remind families, anyone who's watching this, choose your hard. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it does matter which path you choose, and whatever path is best for you and your family, choose it.
Either one is,
But
has
both-
its hard things.
Yeah, there's hard things in life. There's hard things with both paths. So,
like
you start.
when we were on a walk in September-ish, it was really dark outside. It was early morning, and you see these like kids lined up for the bus, and it was like dark outside, sun not even up. And it just kind of felt like, what is going on? It's like dark. There's no one
was
out, and there's
pitch
all
black.
these kids lined up, and then this bus comes, and
I think it was like
I think that's hard.
6 a.m. and
No,
it had to have been.
It was, well, because the bus comes around 7, I think. But
So whatever
anyway.
time it was really
Still
early.
and we just kind of said like,
And it was
oh, our
dark.
kids are home sleeping right now. So that is a hard thing in public school, getting your kids out the door early, making them wake up and
They're
sleep.
gone all day. I just couldn't believe that there were junior high kids loading the bus at that time of day, in so early in the morning,
so early.
and they probably weren't going to be back until
At
3,
least
4.
yeah, 3.
I don't know. That just
activities.
that seemed like a hard thing.
And that's another thing that I've really noticed, jumping back to like how year 2 has been better. We get through our day a lot quicker. And most of the time we have hit either math either science or history, and then math and language arts by lunchtime.
Mhm.
And it's so great. And the kids can work on hobbies, or they do their like typing and piano practice and after lunch, and it's great.
Another one, where again, thinking of this concept of choose your hard, I was over at somebody's house several months ago. I stopped by somebody's house early in the morning to go drop off something, and I just happened to be there right as their kids were getting ready to go out the door and to leave for school. And all 3 of their kids looked sad. Now, I know I have little kids. I know that when little kids, or any kids of any size, even big kids like us, sometimes when we wake up in the morning, we wake up on the wrong side of the bed.
Everyone
We're grumpy,
has
we're
grumpy
tired,
days,
or whatever. The mad rush to get out the door. I just felt really bad. I saw these 3 kids being rushed out the door. Not one of them looked happy. They were sad, grumpy, tired, and I thought to myself, and I'll say this a few more times on this video, it doesn't have to be this way, is what I thought to myself. And if I were more bold to that family, I probably would have said, it doesn't have to be this way. But anyway.
Yeah, another thing, like I had a lot of friends that, were posting photos about spring break, and it was so fun, all the family time, and they're like doing these awesome learning experiences and trips and everything, and saying, I wish spring break didn't have to end. And like you said, I was like, it doesn't have to.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to. You could have those experiences with your kid all the time and watch them learn new things all the time.
Yeah. So that's again, that it doesn't have to be this way. Choose your hard. Another one that just happened recently this week, which I am just like sick over. So where we used to go, where our oldest went to kindergarten, when we lived in Davis County, there's a charter school there, and we just barely heard that the principal was just arrested this week on having thousands and thousands,
like distributing child pornography.
Yeah, it's so sad and so disgusting and so disheartening for anybody who is turning their kids over to anybody else, to see and hear that filth going on, and in such a situation where parents are entrusting their kids.
Mhm.
It's just, again, choose your heart. What heart do you want? And that seems like a really hard. So, and I again, God bless all the kids, or that whatever, whoever's involved in that. God bless those kids and those families, and hopefully those kids get the help, and that they're okay. But that's super sad, and I hope that none of the kids in the school were involved. But who knows?
Yeah.
There's another one that I've been thinking a lot about, and it's one that happened a couple weeks ago here in our city. Somebody made a posting on our city's. It's just like a public. It's not a city. It's just like a city group page. The city doesn't run it, but it's just a group page for our city. And somebody posted an anonymous post, and I just want to read it, just so you can hear it. They kept it anonymous, and so there's nothing identifying here. It just said, it says, attention, the parents at the junior high. Please teach your kids to keep their hands to themselves. My child has had at least 5 ruined or broken items ruined or broken by other students. Teachers don't care about it. Do you? Why can another child touch my child and their things? In the real world, this is against the law. My child is quiet and doesn't want attention on them. They're constantly being messed with. Their hats hit off multiple times a day. Their lanyard yanked off and broken. Food and paint spilled on them on purpose. How can so many children be so rude and disrespectful? This makes me sad for our future. I thought I lived in a nice place with kind people. Will these kids be happy to drive my kids insane, or worse? The school is so disheartening.
That's sad to read.
And again, that's really sad. That's essentially bullying going on. And then the posting, if you think the posting is sad or disheartening, reading the comments of other parents who are saying, yeah, my kid, we've had this problem. We've had to do this. We've had to go to the school and intervene here. And if you think that school administrators are doing anything to help educate kids, they're not. I have a couple of friends who are principals, and they are busy all day long dealing with discipline issues. That's all they're doing.
Well, and it's hard because I feel like teachers' hands are kind of tied now for disciplining. They get in trouble by these parents who are like, oh, you can't discipline my kid.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it really disheartening post to hear, but it doesn't have to be that way. Your kid does not have to continue to be bullied. There are other options. There are so many education options and so many ways for you and your family to be supported and educate your kids in the way that can raise your child up right. And they don't have to start their early years and into their teenage and adult years with all these issues and problems. Yeah. The kid needs to worry about being a kid and learning and growing and experiencing all the wonderful and good and beautiful things that there are in the world. And instead, oftentimes kids in public school have to deal with bullying.
And one thing I've noticed, homeschooling, especially our 2 older kids who are kind of, they have more time and space to figure out who they are and what they like to do without being influenced by, someone saying like, your shirt is stupid, or like they can be who they want to be and figure out who they are without the influence of peers and bullies. And I'm not saying they don't have any friends, but there's not that constant like, what will this person think of me? What will this person think of me? They just do what they want. It's kind of great.
Yeah. There's so many other things. Again, we're not saying that homeschooling is easy. We definitely have had our hard moments in the last 2 years.
Probably some of the hardest moments of our life.
Yeah, hate to say that out loud. Knock on wood. But again, I think I know today I would choose the hards of homeschooling than the hards of what kids are experiencing or could potentially experience, or what
even just what
goes
the
on there.
school system is like. Do your research and learn how it came about, and like, do you want, I don't know, they're teaching kids to be factory workers.
Yeah.
And it's hard because once you learn all that, you're gonna be like, oh, can we ever go back? Anyway,
choose your hard.
yes. Okay, new topic. As our oldest is coming up on her 9th grade year, we've been trying to decide what to do for high school. And it was a really hard decision.
Maybe let's go here
Okay.
and talk about that. Sorry, before we get to that, I mean, this will lead into it.
Okay.
So in 8th grade, our oldest, we started this second year in
Good and Beautiful Math.
Good and Beautiful Maths.
I think it was 7.
Yeah. Again, I've said in other videos, I think Good and Beautiful's math is like
advanced.
It's more advanced than the actual grade level it states. So we started her on 7, but then we realized that it was actually just reinforcing stuff from 6th grade. So we decided,
Math 6.
Yeah, the Math 6. So we just decided that when was it that we switched it?
I think it was like September. She wasn't very
she wasn't very far. So we decided to ditch it, and we found this other great math program called Denison Math.
Denison Algebra.
Denison Algebra, sorry.
Yeah.
The guy is a master, and he makes it fun and engaging, but he's really simple, really clean, down to the point. Here's how you do it. Here's the theory behind it, but then down to the point. Here's how you do pre-algebra. And she has thrived.
Yes.
She's absolutely thrived to the point that she was cruising through all of her pre-algebra material.
She's almost done. She only has her final exam.
Yeah, she's going to finish next week. On math, end of April, she'll be done with pre-algebra. She has just cruised through it, and he has a grading scale too, and she's been constantly A all the way through. Like awesome. And again, I just have to think back to her when she was in 6th grade in public school. She did not like math. She struggled, and so when we brought her home, we got her up. And I just have to state that, because if you go back and watch some of our old videos where we were like, we're confident, we think we could do this. We did it. We did it. And I have to, and I'm only saying that not to say to be prideful or boastful or anything, that is that you can teach your kids. It takes a loving parent. If you can read and you can work together, you can make sure that the material can be taught and learned. It doesn't take a teaching degree to teach your kid.
And I want to say one thing, because I think a lot of people don't know this. I get all the time, like, how do you know what to teach, or how do you plan your lessons? And I'm like, I don't. I'm like, I know a lot of homeschooling moms that love to really like dive in and plan things. And I'm like, I just open the book and we do the lesson together, and I'm learning alongside them. And sometimes like, oh, we have to go grab this.
Yeah, all the curriculum that we use for all the different ones. And again, we branched out this year to several other things besides the Good and Beautiful, but still principally Good and Beautiful. But
I just really love that.
It just tells you everything you need to do, and we do it. And it's so great. It tells you at the beginning of the lesson sometimes, here's the supplies that you need.
Yeah.
And that's so helpful for busy folks.
I think some people think like, wow, you're so smart to like plan a lesson for them on all these topics. And I just laugh and say like,
thanks for the
that's cool that you think I'm really smart. I just read it from the book.
So, and then, so that was what we did for our oldest. And then our son, who's in 6th grade, he has struggled with the Good and Beautiful Math. Not because I think it's too hard, but I think their style of doing it, he's really struggled with. I'm the person that's like, once I set my mind on it, we're going to do it kind of thing. And I really have pushed her and him. Mm-hmm. Let's just finish it out this year. Let's do it. Let's not waste that money. Let's just push. And we did, and we have, and it's struggled. We are switching him to Denison Algebra next year. He's actually going to go from 6th grade, and we're going to skip the 7th grade stuff and just go right into Denison pre-algebra. Yeah. And so we'll start him on pre-algebra in 7th grade, and I'm confident he is going to love it because of how that guy does. We don't even get paid to talk about this stuff. But he really does a fantastic job. And if you're looking for a supplemental, or if you want to
It's
just
a full-on math
bring your kid
program.
home for junior high pre-algebra, do it. And this guy will help get your kid totally up to speed and do it in a way that's fun and engaging, and will give them the confidence. That's what I think that I just love about homeschooling, is that kids, instead, they can actually have a natural curiosity, and then they get a confidence when they learn something.
Yeah.
And they're eager to share it with others. They're eager to share it with family and
Instead of being
friends.
compared to what someone else
They're
knows.
just sharing what they know and what they've been spending their time doing and learning, and it's so fun.
Another thing we did for our 6th grader is we brought a math tutor in to help him with his math lesson every day. It was getting a little draining on me.
We have this neighbor that's a college student, and she's fantastic.
Statistics major.
She's studying math and
amazing.
statistics. But again, you don't have to have that major, but it just so happened that she was next door and she had the availability. And anyway, she's been amazing. We absolutely love her. And
he actually likes math now. And
so sometimes if there is a struggle in homeschool between a parent and a child, rather than like forcing the hand on it, it's actually, I think, very economical to find somebody else who can just do the same thing as you. They don't have to have that.
He listens to her better than he listens to me.
And that's the only subject.
And it was also hard because it was other kids interrupting and me not having a full hour to spend with him, helping him on math, you know.
Yeah, so it's just the tug
really
of
nice
her.
To just, she's over there helping him. And
it's nice to have just a helper.
It's really awesome.
So again, even a 4-to-1 ratio, sometimes when you've got I think the littlers at home in homeschool, it can be more on the challenging side. But we've done it before by ourselves, and then some days when the tutor couldn't come, then we just muscle through it. She muscles through it. Not we, you. It still works, and we get it done.
Yeah.
So as we can go into our oldest. We've spent this last year researching, looking at so many different options for high school. There's a lot of homeschoolers that continue to homeschool through high school.
And write their own diploma.
Write their own transcript and just say you're graduating from, the family school, the family homeschool. And that's what's on the transcript. We've gone back and forth on do we want to just do our own transcript and just do it at home and continue doing what we're doing, but we'd still have to seek for curriculum, high school level curriculum and all that stuff. There's lots of options. We looked at probably 6 or 7 different options on our Excel sheet. As we were comparing, contrasting, we were interviewing different schools, talking through what their curriculum was like. And, it's been a lot. I think we're more settled today than we have been over the last 6 or 7 months. That we are choosing to use BYU Online High School for our daughter.
And we don't want to box her out of anything like with doing unaccredited versus accredited quite yet. I don't think we're to that point.
We're not there yet,
in
like
our
traditional
homeschool journey, to be like, let's just make our own transcript. It'll be fine. But I hope to get there in the future. It'd be cool. BYU Online High School just had a lot of class options compared to all the other ones we checked out. And they also seem to have a good support group and lots of, tutors to help. And so we're going to try that out.
And I think one thing, there's 2 paths at BYU Online High School. There is the full-time student who has to log in between the 8 to 2 or whatever.
Math at 8 and science.
It's a Zoom call. Whatever. We didn't want that for our daughter either. We just said that that's not the experience we want her to have. We have loved homeschooling, having that flexibility with our kids to say, hey, let's go on a hike today, like they did today. Like, let's go on a hike. Like, put all that stuff, leave it on your desk and just go.
Yeah, we'll get back to it.
We want that flexibility. So there's a flex path that just says, hey, enroll in the classes and you have 6 months to finish it. So you can maybe enroll in your first 3 or 4 classes now, and then you just have to work on those 3 or 4. And then in January, do the last 3. And she could even start in and do both of her English classes right in a row and just get them done so that she's done with them by October, and then get into the 2 algebra classes and then get those done by December. And then you don't have to take them all concurrent at the same
all
time.
6 credits or whatever.
Like a kid would in junior high and high school, where you're trying to balance all the workload of all these different subjects. You can actually just go right through and cruise right through all the units for English and get 9th grade English done, and then go into Algebra 1 and then go into history.
And we don't know exactly what her schedule will look like yet, but we are set on that. And then she will do seminary at the local junior high.
You know, the other thing that I love about BYU Online High School is that she can actually get credit for any of the sports that she's doing outside. So, any of the clubs or teams, community leagues.
And fine arts, right?
So any of the fine arts. So
piano lessons, she can get credits for that stuff, which is really awesome.
We've got lots of people in our area that do different instruments and musical things that we could get the credit for through BYU Online High School. There's even work credits. So if our kids,
I think you have to be a junior, but
once they become 16, they can go to work and get credit, high school credit. And
that's another thing that's so awesome about homeschooling is they could work like during the day when everyone else is at school and do their
so they're more likely to get a job in their teenage years because they're available during the day, when sometimes employers in the area struggle to find employees that work in the day. There's tons of high school students that can work in the evenings, but they struggle to find people sometimes during the day.
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing.
So that's another cool thing I think will be fun. So she might just have to argue, our kids, as they get older, they might have to shift and say, hey, I'm going to do working during the day.
Work till noon
and then
do school.
Do their school stuff afternoon, evening. So we'll see when we get to that point. We're not there yet, obviously, but that's what we've chosen for next year.
Everything a year at a time.
Yep. So we think this is a good option for us. We've done a lot of research, and now we're just hoping and praying that the Lord will continue to light our path and help us know what's the right direction, and if it's the right direction, and hopefully it's a good thing. So I think just a couple of things that I just want to point out. In one of our first videos, I was talking about how how disheartening the public school system is, because a lot of these public school districts across the country have taken tainted money from the federal government or the federal Department of Education. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just really awesome right now that we are now looking at abandoning and abolishing the Department of Education. I think we've talked about it for years, and it's so nice to see that something is actually starting to happen. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to happen, because I know that would take congressional approval, but I think lots of things have started to do that. And I think that's going to help the public schools. In fact, I know it's going to help public schools all over the country. That money will be pushed down from the federal government to the states, and then hopefully the states will push it right down to the district, local level, and hopefully to parents. And we are seeing more traction on that. Yeah, we want to get those resources to the people at the ground level, and including parents. And in our next video, we're going to talk a little bit about the school choice movement that has been going on and has increased in speed and momentum since the pandemic too. So I'm pretty excited to talk more about that. So I'll give a little teaser for that.
Perfect.
But maybe just last question, Lindsay, for you. Have you seen in the last, now we're finishing up our second year, as you think about the last 2 years and over the last year even, have you seen our kids progress in their learning and understanding?
Well, yeah. It's been cool to witness. And even, our 6-year-old has been learning to read. And it's just amazing to see where we started 2 years ago when he was still working on letter sounds, and now he's reading these books and sounding out long words.
We taught him.
I'm like, I know, it feels kind of like, oh, it's amazing. You know?
Yeah. And he's technically in kindergarten this year. And he's technically, but he has progressed so fast through the kindergarten material and through first grade material. He's in the middle of his first grade language arts, right?
Yes, and he's almost done with math one.
Math one. So a kindergartner who has gone all the way through kindergarten math and first grade math. So he'll start his first grade year technically next year in second grade math and in the middle of his
and it was
first grade language
here's
arts.
Another little funny thing. I took him to, I don't know, an appointment of some sort, and they were like, "What grade are you in?" And he was like, I'm kind of in kindergarten."
He didn't know how to respond.
I was like, we homeschool, so he doesn't know. Like, technically he's kindergarten age, but he's doing first grade stuff. Anyway,
a better question is like, how old are you? Or like, what do you like to do, kind of thing.
For another video.
And yes, it is a topic for another video, but it's just a funny thing as homeschoolers that when people ask the questions, and if the kids are young enough, they're like, I don't know, Mom, what am I?
No, I've heard even older kids are like, I don't know what grade I'm in.
Like, I'm just learning. Cares? I'm learning. Aren't you just learning? Aren't you just living and learning?
But it's been cool to see the progression.
So the point I wanted to make with it is that again, you don't have to have an education degree to teach children. You can do it, and I think a lot of parents think that they can't do it. But if you get curriculum, and if you don't know, then just get anything and try it. And then you'll find out and tweak, and you'll learn, and you start hearing from other people, talking to other people. I think she's found so many tips and tricks from talking to other people in different co-ops that our kids go to, where you hear things and you're like, oh, I'm going to try that. I'm going to look it up, or I'm going to buy that and see what it's like. And then you find something and you're like, this is amazing. Where's it been our whole life? Or where's it been this last year? So I just say, take heart, have faith, just like we called this channel Learning by Faith. We are learning by faith. It's so important to trust in God and know that he has a plan for you, whatever path is your family's path. He's got a plan for you. Pray to him, ask for his help. He loves families. He helps individuals. He helps families that are trying to follow him and raise children up to him. And I just say, take heart, take faith, try the faith route, and bring your kids home if you can.
Amen.
So anyways, we will see you in our next video, which I'd like to say we'll be talking a little bit more about the school choice movement, and we hope to share some more good information that's going on there. So thanks for the time tonight.
See you soon.
See ya.